NIRO Knowledge, one off.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to NIRO Knowledge, another episode here for you, another one-off. I know it's like, oh, Nick, we're so tired of you. Come on. But here I am once again. Do have guests, I promise, in the pipeline. And it's just a matter of getting the schedule, all the kinks of the schedule worked out so we can get connected, get it done, and get it out to you. But today I want to talk about a couple of great little tidbits of news. As I mentioned last week, is I do have one thing on hold, and unfortunately, it's going to be a couple of weeks before some news comes out of that. A hopefully conference that might be virtual for people, and I will talk more about how that one comes down the pipeline in a couple of weeks when I have more information for you. That NIRO Knowledge will be a part of. With that, there is one I will present to you now that is going to be in April, that is going to be a virtual event. And it is with somebody I've been attempting to collaborate with quite some time. So some of these collaborations and partnerships are happening and going through, and I am very excited about it. And it is the police science doctor, right? So former all kinds of different names, but she is out there now, and she is up running all over the place. I've tagged her in some social media here and there, but I am going to do it again, and you will have some great interest in what she has coming down the pipeline. So analysts in academia, everybody who is listening into this episode today, stay tuned, because that is actually coming up in April. I will be a part of that. NIRO Knowledge will also be letting everybody know when that is coming online, so that way everybody can get some great information out of that. She has a lot of guests that are coming in that are going to present some great topics. So, pull in your fellow officers as well. If you are an officer, if you are rank and file, if you are an analyst, whomever you are listening, there is going to be some excellent content for everybody within the policing world of several different topics. It's going to be fantastic. I will explain more as we get closer to it. But yours truly will be a member of that conference as well. So that is fantastic and fun news. That is over in the UK, and again, a virtual event that's going to be coming in April, virtual conference. So that's, thank you so much again for people who have listened, not only here in the US, but overseas as well. Canada, UK, where else did we have? Australia, South Africa. I know there's too many of you to actually tag and put into any tweet or LinkedIn thing, but I very much appreciate everybody listening, sharing it with your friends and coworkers and peers. And at some point in time, feel free to reach out to me if you are somebody with an international interest in hopefully maybe transcribing some of these shows and getting it done in another language. I would love to do that as well, to get information out to even more of our fellow analysts in academia and pracademics and crime data scientists and everybody else who's forging this great venue here with NIRO Knowledge. So again, thank you very much, everybody, for that. Again, that will be coming down the pipeline in April, and I will let you know more as that progresses. With that, there was another piece I wanted to talk about along those lines. I don't know, conferences and training and all the fun stuff of the like. Geez Louise, what did it end up being? Regardless, one of the guests I did have coming in the pipeline, just to give you a quick update on that, unfortunately, is still working on their dissertation work and need to focus on that. So that will be delayed. So some of the crime and delinquency aspect, no big deal there, which is fantastic and awesome. Had that happen last year, where somebody had to do some work while they were in school, and then presented with us much later on. So that's fantastic there that they still want to be a part of it, and I appreciate that. What was the other piece? Don't even remember. Don't know why that's blowing my mind at this point. But one of the things that was brought to my attention as well recently was the idea of trying to fold in crime data scientists. And, it's a realm I'm not familiar with. If you are out there and know more about it, it should just be pretty much like crime analysts, right? But some data scientists who deal with crime, people who are probably more along the lines of academics, right? Feel free to start joining and signing up. There is a Slack group I have started in order to kind of bridge these gaps between academia and the research and getting that evidence-based policing and practices over into the hands of analysts to just start shaping and working to make a policing venue more less us versus them mentality that we see unfortunately here in the States, that seems to be seen more in the States. Can't fully buy into the media. Sometimes it's a small story, but it makes it appear as if it's the entire world that thinks that way, which obviously, as we know, is not the case. So crime data scientists, I am going to hashtag this in there. If you are out there and willing to join, want to sign up, growing a network within Slack, it is loaded with people from all over the globe already sharing great information, great stories, and great things that they do that are out there that I was not even fully aware of. There's a gentleman out in India that joined the group, and that's amazing to have in there, because I don't even know possibly who could connect, but it's going to happen. I know it's going to happen. I have somebody in there from NYPD doing some work, and who knows at some point what's going to happen and correlate, but I've had that happen before to myself. A gentleman down in Venezuela, he knows exactly who he is, and I will say hello to Jesus. But it was somebody that I reached out to over a different network, and it was just able to get information that I needed. We've all needed it. We've all had it happen. And it's a fantastic way to network, share more information, figure out what's going on, figure out where to go from there, right? And just share the knowledge to continue to interact and grow together to just make things, that much better. We share a lot of the same problems and struggles across the globe. I have still yet to really hear of a new problem that we share, right? In terms of being underutilized in our agency, or not being recognized enough in our agency, or being the only one maybe in the agency and just being overworked, right? So we are all out there. Great support network, great network again to share information. And there are great links and resources already being shared in terms of where to find some tutorials and some tips. And soon I'm sure we'll throw up some templates if people have those that they want to pop out there to help each other out. But a fantastic source of growth just from the shared knowledge and experiences alone. So that is awesome. Thank you very much for continuing to join. And again, if you are out there and still would like to, I'm going to leave that link in the show notes. But for those listening, it is just simply resources.niroca.com/Slack invite. Easiest way to get there. Tried to make it one of those cool little, short web page type things, so that way somebody doesn't have to remember, whatever crazy ending there might be in the Slack invite link. It gets, stupid hashing crazy. So that is a lot of what's going on. Some of the updates that's happening, plenty of growth. If you haven't seen or heard as well, another great partnership with Excellence in Analytics and Dawn Reeby and her group. I am going to be doing some technical skill training for her Rising Genius program, and be doing some of that work. So a lot of growth, a lot of stuff happening, and it's because of you folks. I appreciate it so much, and getting sharing my vision, right, of just coming together, getting the work done as a collective, and just making that change in the world, right? Making it grow, making it better, looking at the things that we need to, and not just getting stuck without science. So science moving us forward, solving the problems, getting things done. That's probably the best way to talk about it. So you know what? It's pretty much what I've got for everybody at this point. Next week, I will give a little bit more, and it won't be just this big old to-do update. and hopefully I remember what it was. There was another piece, I swear, another piece that I should have written down. One of the downfalls of having one of those quick brain explosions, right? Not having a pen and paper right there available, jot that note down. That way you can present accordingly. If I do, pay attention to social media. I'll post it up on Twitter and LinkedIn at that point, and that will be good stuff. If you aren't already, though, join the NIRO CA, the NIRO Crime Analysis newsletter, NIROCA.com. All the way at the bottom is an easy, just fill out your email, and I think it pops up with your name, and that's about it for their email and your name. Send that off. Stay in tune. Stay in touch. I do have webinar trainings that I host that are coming down the pipeline. There's several regional agencies that I'm working with to do some specialized training for them in law enforcement analytical tools. So that is out there. I do post on that, as well as some of the other stuff coming up with NIRO Knowledge. So just to be in the know, if social media isn't enough for you, usually the email is a little bit longer. I get a few more characters out of that than the 210, 240 that Twitter is for the most part. But I try to keep it brief. There's no need to be extensive in some of this information. Just get it in, simplify it, get it out, get it done, right? So that join up the group there, join up the Slack group if you're interested in coordinating with a bunch of people with like-mindedness to grow crime analysis and the industry of it itself, as well as just bettering the world of policing and the community ties that we can forge and create and help get solidified at that point between our agencies and our communities. And if you're academia, feel free to join, inject your knowledge as well into there, things that you've done and research, the things that we can grow from. And that's pretty much where we're going with this, just making that cohesive unit and forging that stronger bond, growing the knowledge, making things a little bit better, more effective, more efficient, and just solidifying a better future for the realm of policing. One country, one state, one person, one community, one everything at a time, right? Just the whole world is our oyster to, help out, serve, protect, and, just do it in a much more effective and efficient way. So with that, I will leave you to the rest of your day. Thank you very much for joining. Thank you very much for signing up for those newsletters and staying informed with me. And I will talk with you next week. Take care. Another great episode of NIRO Knowledge. Thank you for listening to the podcast, and remember to share, subscribe, rate, and review the podcast on your favorite service. And if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me at nick@niroca.com. It is nick@niroca.com.